Hi, this is Tisha Copeland at Not Your Mama's Quilt Store in Plano, Texas, and I want to show you something fun to make today. A gadget cushion. What is a gadget cushion? So in the olden days when I was like a little kid, maybe not that little, but in the olden days, we used to always have the phone hanging on the kitchen table, right? On the kitchen wall. Maybe the table, on the kitchen wall. So we always knew where the phone was when it was ringing. Now we set our phones down everywhere. You can't find your ring, you can't find your phone when it starts ringing. And so this is going to help you keep track of where it is, because every time you walk in a room, you can set it right there. You can set it like this. You can set your iPad on this. You can set a little cookbook on it. You can pin notes on how beautiful you are. You can do whatever you want with this. And it is so easy to make. So these are little gadget cushions. Let me tell you what you're going to have to do to make them. These are going to be the ingredients. You need crushed walnut shells, okay? This is what it's going to go. This is what's going to go on the inside. So if you're allergic to walnut shells, don't use them. Do not use them. Find something else to fill it with, whether you like to use stuffing or sand. Sometimes sand isn't so great for your needles, or the little poly pellets or anything like that. You can use it. I like to use the crushed walnut shells. Just telling you out there, think about it before you either give it away or you make it. Next thing you're going to need, very important, the pattern. The pattern is this little lightweight printed interfacing, and it's adhesive. So you're going to adhere it to a fat quarter. So you need one fat quarter. One fat quarter is going to make 2 gadget cushions, okay? So you need that. You need your instructions, but in case you didn't get a printout like this, the instructions are right down here at the bottom as well. So you can see the instructions down there. They're just a little bit hard to read. So you can watch this video or you can print them up. Next thing you're going to need is your thread, matching thread, a hand sewing needle, because you're gonna have to do a little bit of hand sewing. You need an iron, and you need your sewing machine, plus a rotary cutter. So the first thing you are going to do is get your fabric, open it up just like this. Okay, you can see where I already made one. I took it out of the fat quarter right there. So I'm going to go ahead and make my next one. And I'm going to iron this pattern right to the back of the fabric, just like this, okay? So in order to get the instructions cut off, because we don't need the instructions on here when we go to iron it, take that off. Those are my instructions. And I am going to take this pattern right here and iron it down on the fabric. The back of the interfacing has glue. You can feel it, it's bumpy. And if you can't read it, then you know you have it on upside down, okay? You have to be able to read it. And you're gonna iron it to the back of your fabric. So let me take this to the ironing board and iron it and show you what we're going to do next. Okay, so I ironed the interfacing to the back of this fabric. It's on the back of the fabric. And you will notice that right here, there is a cutout line. See the little tiny scissors right here? You're going to cut out all the way around the pattern so that you just have your interfacing on the square of the fabric. So I cut off 3 sides already, and I'm going to cut off the last side, which is the one right here, and you cut on the little dotted line. The next thing you're going to do is separate this portion right here, which is for the tabs, from the main body. The tabs are going to be right here, what goes onto the little cushion, so that you can put your pen in there, you can put your lipstick in there, you can do whatever you need to do to hang it in there. You've got 4 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can use them for all different things. So I have to separate that from the rest of this right here. And I'm just going to take my rotary cutter and my mat, and my ruler. It's at about 2 inches right here, but it does have lines. I'm just following the lines. Everything that you see is on the line. Now that I have done that, I have got this cut. The next thing I have to do is make these tabs. So what I'm going to do with these little tabs is fold this in half so that I can have a nice crease line, and I can see where I'm going to fold the second time. So I'm going to fold it in half just like this. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is fold this to the middle and fold it to the middle just like that. Fold it in half. Then I'm going to do a top stitch line all along the edge right here. Okay, so let me show you again. Fold it in half so that you get a crease line. Next thing you do is take one edge, fold it to the middle, take the other side, fold it to the middle, and now fold it just like this in half on top of itself, and you're going to do a stitching top stitch right here all along the edge all the way down, and do the same thing on the other side. Then you're going to set it aside and come back. I'll be right back. Let me run to the sewing machine. Okay, so I've gone and I have sewn a little top stitch all along the edge right here on this strip, and this is going to make the little tabs. The next thing you're going to do is cut this into 4. So don't take out the ruler and measure all of that. That's too much of a hassle. All you have to do is fold it in half, cut it like that, fold it in half again. Okay, this is how easy it is. Don't make it hard. Okay, cut it in half again, and you're going to make 4 of them just like this. You don't need them to be very big because they just have to be able to hold a pen or pencil. Once you've done that, you're going to go ahead, fold them in half just like this. Fold it in half, and you're going to do just a basting stitch right along the edge. You're not going to do it very far in. You're going to go right here on the edge and do a little basting stitch so that it looks like this. This is just going to hold it in place so that while you are working, it's not constantly sliding back and forth and you're having to fight with it. You're going to do a little basting stitch right there. Then take it over to your pattern. You see where these little tabs are right here, where it's showing. Here it shows a little square. Here it shows a little square. 1 little square, 2 little squares. This is where the tabs are going to go. But you're going to put them on the inside, on the side of the fabric. So it's going to be right sides together. See where it is right there? You're going to put it right sides together, and you're going to put it right where that little tab marking is. Take that one. See how they're staying together now because I don't have to mess with it unfolding and everything. Here is the other one right here. This one is going to go right here. Okay. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. And that one's going right there. If it doesn't line up perfectly, don't worry about it. Don't sweat it, okay? The next thing you're going to do is you're going to run a little stay stitch right here. See where this little tiny line is right here? It's going to on the inside, not this line that says C. This one right here that is just a little stay stitch. You're going to do it there. You're going to do it here. And you're going to do it right down here also. This is going to hold it in place for you while you're sewing. Now, when you go to the sewing machine, at the same time, you're also going to stitch on this line right here. You're going to stitch on these lines. This is going to create a crease for you. You're not going to do anything else but stitch right on the lines. So I'm going back to the machine to do that now. Okay, so you can see I basted these right into place, okay? Just used a basting stitch or a regular stitch and basted them right into place. I also stitched across these guidelines right here. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to fold it on the center line right here. Fold it so that they are right sides together. And now we are going to stitch A and B lines. So here's the A line. We're going to start right there. We're going to go forward and back tack. So you have to knot off at the end. You're going to go all the way to the end right here and back tack at that dot. Next one we're going to do is B, right here, start, back tack, and then come over here to the corner, pivot, and sew all the way across. Okay, you can see where I stitched on line A, back tacking right here, came all the way over. I love it when they give you a stitch line so you don't have to figure it out and think real hard. Back tack right there, and then down here at the bottom, back tack, go back and forth or tie a knot off, pivot right there, go all the way across, stitching right over those tabs. And so you have a big cylinder like this, okay? You're going to have an opening right here because that's going to be where the sand goes, or the walnut shells. But here it's going to look like that. Now the part that I think is kind of tricky that you couldn't understand from the instructions, in my humble opinion, was that you're going to take this part right here and you're going to pinch these two sides together. See how it pinches together, kind of like the old sour cream holders that you could buy sour cream. And I'm going to take this seam right here where I sewed it together, and I'm going to match it up just as best as I can. Again, don't make this hard. This is a fun, easy project, right? Something you can do. So I'm going to match it up with the dotted line right here, which is going to be the center. Now you can see where the C line is. Let me turn it around. Now you can see where the C stitching line is right here. I'm going to start stitching right here. There's the little dot in case you don't believe me. See the little dot right there? I'm going to start stitching right there, back tack again, tie off it at the end, go all the way across right here and back tack again. When I do that, that's going to leave an opening right there, and then I'm going to turn it inside out. Okay, so I've turned it inside out. Work out the corners a little bit. You might have to get your scissors and put it in there and kind of push the little corners out, or get your purple thing and go ahead and do it with that. It's going to have an opening right here for you to put the sand in. I keep saying sand, the sand, whatever it is. And turn it inside out. When you've done that, you're also, remember those lines you stitched on before? You're going to now come back and you're going to stitch on them again. You can see where it is stitched a second time right there, twice, okay? And that's going to be your crease where it shows where you can set something down. That's going to be your crease right there. So after you've turned it inside out, you work your corners out, you're going to go ahead and sew your lines right here, these seams, and you've got two openings now to put your material in. You're going to have one right there, pour the sand in there, hand stitch it shut. This one right here, this is the part that looks like the little sour cream carton. You're going to turn that inside out, and you're going to put your sand in there, or your crushed walnut shells. Your crushed walnut shells you can find at a pet supply place, like Petco or PetSmart, something like that. It comes in usually like an 8-pound bag or maybe a 5-pound bag. You can find it there. It's going to be where they have the reptile supplies. I like to use it because I think it works well with my needles and it gives it a nice weight. It's not floating around. But again, remember that if you have somebody with peanut allergies or nut allergies, you don't want to be using this. Just keep that in mind, because sometimes it's severe enough that they can't even be near the fabric or smell it. So keep it in mind. But I hope you enjoyed making these and you'll give it a try. The patterns are only $1.99. They are really great fun, and you can make it just in a few minutes. Fun, cute stuff, and you will always know where your phone is. So this is Tisha Copeland, Not Your Mama's Quilt Store in Plano, Texas. Thanks for checking in on us. Bye.